get started. Thank you for joining me in today's Stretch and Core. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. As I was saying, it is body weight, so we do not have any weights that are needed for this class. We have 5 exercises that we will be going through. It will be 3 rounds, 1 set per exercise, and the timing will always be 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. So I will go ahead and demonstrate our 5 moves before we get started. So our first exercise will be laying on our back, legs bent, feet flat, arms by our side. We're gonna raise our shoulders off the ground, keeping our chin off of the chest, and you're just gonna move side to side to tap the back of your heel with that hand, working our obliques in this exercise. Then we're gonna turn it on over, and we're gonna come into quadruped position. Hands and knees, hands should be right under those shoulders, knees right under your hips, and we're gonna go into some bird dogs. So making sure that back is not arched, you're pulling that belly button into your spine, and you are going to raise that that hand and that opposite leg out. You're gonna extend it out, so your back should still not be arching. You wanna keep that nice straight back. So you extend it out, keeping that back, and then pulling in that knee and opposite elbow, and then we're just gonna stay with it on that one side. And then for our third set, we will switch it over, going to the other side for those bird dogs. Then we're gonna come back onto our backs again with the legs bent, this time feet in the air and your hands by your head. We're gonna come into a bent bicycle. So you're gonna bring that elbow to that opposite knee, and then as you do that, you're gonna drop that other foot down just so that the toe taps the ground. Bring both back up, lay down, and then switch sides, making sure that as you drop that toe down, that lower back should stay nice and flat. Again, pulling that belly button into that spine, maintaining that pelvic tilt the entire time. And then our last exercise, we have dead bugs, so still keeping our legs bent, feet in the air. This time our hands are over our chest, and we're just going to bring out that hand and opposite leg, just like we did with that bird dog, except this time we are on our back. And again, that lower back should stay nice and flat the entire time. If your back begins to arch too quickly, you can always modify it by doing those toe taps like we'll be doing in the exercise before. And of course, if you want to add a little resistance, you can hold a water bottle or a dumbbell and bring it on out as you extend the legs out. But first, we're going to go ahead and get started with our side-to-side heel tap. So everyone should be laying on their backs, legs bent, feet on the floor. Hands will be extended out, and we're just going to lift our shoulders off the ground and then swing side to side so that our fingers can touch our heels. Like I said at the beginning of class, we have 1 set, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest for 3 rounds. We are getting started in 3, 2, 1. Lift the shoulders off the ground. Keep them up the entire time. And just bring your hands to tap your heels. Keep that chin off your chest. Keeping the shoulders and shoulder blades high off the ground as you can. You only have 15 more seconds. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's rest. Let's turn it on over into our hands and knees. We're gonna lift that left hand and right leg out. Again, that back should be neutral, so pull that belly button into the spine. We are extending in 3, 2, 1. That left arm, right leg, sticking with that side the entire way. And then as you bring in, you're kind of rounding that back. Nice little crunch as you bring in your knee and elbow. Go nice and slow. Make sure you have the balance. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're going to place our hands down, and this time we're extending our right arm and our left leg. You can arch that back into that cat-cow really quickly if you need that little stretch, and then bring it back to that nice neutral spine, belly button into this tucked in. 3, 2, 1. Extend that right arm and left leg. As you extend out, that back should stay nice and straight, should not arch. Halfway there. Single digits. Then we're going to turn it over for those bent bicycles. 1, go ahead and rest. Let's turn it over. Legs bent and feet in the air, hands by your head, bringing up that elbow to that opposite leg. And as you do that, dropping the other leg down to the toe taps. In 3, 2, 1. Keep that back, press towards the ground. Lift that shoulder all the way off the floor as you bring it to that opposite elbow. Just over 10 seconds remaining. 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. We're going to keep those legs in the air. Just bring your arms over your chest. This is where you can grab a dumbbell if you want that extra resistance. And then we're going to bring out that leg and that opposite arm. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start. Keep that back pressed to the floor. If you're holding on to a dumbbell or weight, you can extend both arms out as you extend one leg out at a time. Press that back into the floor. If you need to, you can always modify it to keeping the legs bent and just dropping the toes down. Three, 2, 1. We are resting. That was our first round. 2 to go. Drop those legs down. Keep them bent. Hands are extended. We're going to lift up the shoulders and come into our side-to-side taps. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the shoulders up high as you can. Keep the chin off the chest. You're halfway there. 10 more seconds. Stay strong. Keep your shoulders up. Core engaged. 3, 2, 1. Let's turn it over. Hands and knees. Picking up that left arm and that right leg. Make sure that back nice and neutral. Pulling that belly button in. Gonna pick those left arm, right leg in 3, 2, 1. Extend it out. Crunch it on in. Go as slow as you need to at first to really have that balance. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Gonna switch sides now. Right arm, left leg. Again, you can do that cat-cow in between if you need that little stretch. And then bring it back to neutral. We are extending it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it on out. Halfway through the set. Make sure that hand stays directly underneath that shoulder. 5 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1. We are turning it back over for our bent bicycles. Legs are bent, feet in the air, hands by our head. Bringing in that elbow to that opposite knee, and as we do that, dropping that other toe down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that lower back nice and flat. Lifting that shoulder blade all the way up. $15 seconds remaining. And then just one more set in this second round. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's keep our feet in the air. We're just bringing our arms over our chest now into those dead bugs. If you have that weight, go ahead and grab it. And again, you'll extend both arms out instead of one at a time. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that arm and opposite leg out. Make sure to keep that lower back pressed into the back or into the floor. And if you need to, you can always modify into those toe taps. Ten seconds. 1. We are resting. We can drop the feet down. Extend those arms, palms facing down. We're lifting our shoulders up for our final set of side-to-side heel taps. Less than 10 seconds till we get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick the shoulders up. Tap those heels side to side. $20 seconds. Our final set of these. Keep moving for the rest of the time. Only 10 seconds to go. Breathe through it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn it over. We have our bird dogs. Now you can either stay and keep it how we were, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can come into a bear position, picking those knees just slightly off the ground, and then working on that balance in and out. 3, 2, 1. Left arm, right leg, in and out. And again, if you want that challenge, that left knee is just going to hover off the ground a couple inches as you extend it out and in. Should move even slower if you're doing that bear bird dog to really have that balance. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. This time, right arm, left leg, same thing. You can either stay on your knees or you can lift those knees just a couple inches off the ground, come into that bear and do those extensions, then back in. 3, 2, 1, start. Don't let that back arch as you extend. Keep it nice and straight. Fifteen seconds. 3, 2, 1. We will turn it onto our backs for our final 2 sets. Starting with our bent bicycle, feet in the air, legs bent, hands by your head. As you bring that elbow to that opposite knee, dropping that other toe down. In 3, 2, 1. Begin. 15 seconds. And then we are down to our last exercise, last set. 2, 1. Go ahead, lay it back down. Keep those feet in the air. We are just extending our arms up over our chest for these final set of dead bugs. 40 seconds of work starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that arm and opposite leg. Press that lower back into the ground. Do not let it arch. And if it begins to, you can always modify to those toe taps. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Grab a quick sip of water if you need it, and we will go ahead and get into some stretching. We will begin seated today, crisscross. So go ahead, grab that water, and then meet me back, sitting up nice and tall, legs sitting crisscross. We are just gonna start with the top of our body and work our way down to starting with our neck. Go ahead and drop our chin to our chest, and then slowly roll towards the left till that left ear gets to that left shoulder. Hold it for a few seconds, and then go ahead, bring it back down to your chest, and then switch sides. Bring that right ear to that right shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Coming back down center. And then we bring it over back to the left ear, left shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Back center. Last time, right ear, right shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it back center, and then slowly raise your head back off your chest. Next, we're going to take our right arm and bend it behind the back so that our palm is facing away from us. Back of your hand on your back. Taking your left hand and guiding that head down towards your left armpit. As we just hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring it back up and switch arms. Left arm behind the back, right arm on your head, guiding it down to your right armpit. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up. Next, we are going to take our hands and bring them behind our back. Interlock those fingers and press those arms up as high as you can. You can even raise your chin to look slightly to the sky, stretching out your shoulders. Go ahead, drop it back down and release those fingers. Next, we will come into a spinal twist. So taking your right hand to that left knee, left arm coming behind the back as we twist to look over our left shoulder. Go ahead, inhale it back to center, and then exhale it with your left hand on that right knee, right hand behind the back, twisting over your right shoulder. Inhale it back to center. We're going to do one more each side. Exhale it, left arm behind, twist to the left. And then go ahead, inhale, back center, and exhale it, right arm behind the back, twist to the right. And then let's go ahead, inhale one final time, back to center. Now we're going to take our left hand, place it beside us, and you can either stay here and bring that right arm over your head, or if you'd like a deeper stretch, drop that left elbow down and still keep that arm overhead, not in front of the head, and making sure you keep that right hip pressed to the ground. Do not let it rise up. And then we're going to take that right hand and bring it down and place it next or beside that left hand, stretching out a little bit of that right trap. And then we will go ahead and inhale it back up. Right arm down this time, either keeping that hand there and bringing that left arm over, or for that deeper stretch, right elbow to the floor. And then go ahead, place that left hand beside that right hand, still making sure you keep both hips nice and even. Let's go ahead, bring it back up center. Let's do it one more time. Left hand beside us, bring that right arm overhead. Drop that right hand beside the left. Keep both hips nice and even. And then bring it back up center. Right arm down, left arm's coming overhead. And then drop that left hand down. Keep those hips even on the floor. And then we will go ahead, bring it back up, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to place our hands in front of us and press up so that we can come into a quadruped position, just like how we were for our bird dog, keeping our feet together, knees out wide. Let's go ahead, sit that bottom down onto your heels into a child's pose. Chin to chest, opening up your lower back. And then we will go ahead and walk our hands over towards the left. And then let's go ahead and walk those hands over towards the right. Let's bring it back center. Keeping our forehead on the ground, we're going to bring our arms around our back, interlock those fingers one more time, and then raise them up to stretch out your shoulders. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can lift those hips up and come onto the top of your head. If that feels uncomfortable for your neck, just stay seated on your heels with the forehead down. Let's go ahead, drop it down onto your heels if you've come up onto your head, and then swing the arms back into child's pose. We're going to keep our palms on the ground, slide them forward as we lift our hips into the air. Once your hips come as high as they can be, you can place your forehead back on the ground and sink your chest into the floor, stretching out your upper chest and shoulders. Next, we will drop both of those elbows onto the ground, pick our hands up and touch our fingers to the back of our shoulders, pressing those elbows down, stretching out your triceps, keeping your hips in the air. Go ahead and bring the hands back down to the floor, and let's slide it back into quadruped. Now that we have upper body out of the way, we will go ahead and get into some lower body stretching. So let's step that right foot forward into a hip flexor. You can either stay in this low lunge or you can pick that knee up into that runner's lunge. Either one is fine. Just sink those hips. Feel it in your left hip flexor. If you've picked that knee up, go ahead and drop it down, uncurl the toes, and we will push our hips back, extending that right leg, lifting those toes off the floor, and folding it forward into this hamstring stretch. Keep that back nice and straight. If you'd like, you can bend that knee slightly to take some of the pressure off the back of your knee. And then we're going to go ahead, push the hips back forward into that lunge. And we are going to place our hands on our hips, or you can place it on your right knee for that balance. We're going to kick that left foot up, reach for that ankle to stretch out the quad. Three, two, one. Slowly release that left foot back down to the floor. Place your hands on the ground and step that right foot back. We're going to switch sides. So left foot forward. Again, you can stay here in this low lunge, or you can pick the knee up into that runner's lunge. Either one is fine. Depends how tight or loose you're feeling this morning. And then we will go ahead, drop that knee down. If you've picked it up, push the hips back, extend that left leg, lift the toes, fold it forward. Keep that back nice and straight. Again, you can have that slight bend if you want to take some of the pressure off the back of the knee. And then let's go ahead, push the hips back, drop the toes, come back into that lunge. Stand up nice and tall as we pick that right foot up, holding at the ankles, not the toes, stretching out our right quad. And then we will go ahead and slowly release that right foot back down to the ground, hands to the floor, step that left foot back. Finally, we're going to come up off the knees onto our toes into this downward dog. Pedal out those heels to stretch out your calves, making sure you push those shoulders back. You can either alternate very quickly with those heel drops, or you can hold down one side a little bit longer than the other, depending on how tight your calves are feeling. And then finally, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. We're going to take a nice Big inhale and reach for the sky, bringing it all the way up. Reach, reach, reach as high as you can. We're gonna exhale that left arm down, bend it over to the left. Inhale it back up. Exhale that right arm down and bend it to the right. Inhale it up one more time. Really reach as high as you can be. Even get a little back bend in if you need to. And then go ahead, exhale. Both those hands back down. That is all I have for class today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.